Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree, and if you're new here, welcome. And today's video, I wanted to do a sit down video. I haven't done a sit down video in a really long time, and all my videos lately have been grad school vlogs, summer vlogs, and just vlogging because it's easier to vlog sometime than to do a sit down video. And I'm not even in my room or my normal setup, and when I do sit down videos, I usually do it near my desk area or near my bookshelf. But I am in North Carolina for a summer internship, and so this apartment lighting is not the greatest, but I really wanted to sit down here and kind of have a sit down video, a little advice video. I haven't done one of those in a long time, and I really wanted to discuss navigating grad school with a learning disability. If you're new to my channel, I'm currently a grad student pursuing my master's in counseling and guidance, and I want to work in the field of higher education and really become an academic advisor or a holistic advisor or a community, or work in the community college realm as a community college counselor. And so that's kind of like what I'm aiming for, what I'm going for. My master's in counseling and guidance is something that I feel like is very transferable to different fields like mental health, and who knows, maybe one day I might want to pursue a PhD one day. I don't know yet, but as of right now, I'm pursuing my master's in counseling and guidance, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love what I'm learning in my program, and yeah, I'm glad I'm pursuing this particular master's degree. And I currently just finished my 3rd semester of grad school, and I'm going into my 4th semester starting in August, and I graduate in December. I'm so excited. So I'm graduating in December. Super excited to get my master's degree. Not only am I a grad student, but I'm a grad student with a learning disability. I was diagnosed with a learning disability when I was a little girl. I think as early as maybe kindergarten, so maybe 5, 6, or 7. Around there. If you haven't checked out my story time where I talk about my learning disability, when I was diagnosed, just my overall whole academic journey and how I went from, a struggling student to, really a thriving a grad student with a learning disability. I kind of take you along for the journey and kind of really go more in depth, and also give you some tips and advice in that video. So definitely check it out. I have to say that's probably like one of my top videos here on my channel, and I can't believe it. I'm honestly overwhelmed by how well that video has have performed and done on my channel. So thank you all for all the love on that video, and I definitely see all the comments and how people say I can relate to you, or I understand what you went through, because I have experience of that. That video has honestly been a sense of encouragement for a lot of folks, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm so glad that you all love that video. So I'm just so glad that my story with my learning disability and all my struggle and challenges has been a sense of encouragement for other folks, and that brings me so much joy, because that's kind of why I wanted to share my story. And I'm so glad I filmed that video. And so today I really wanted to do a video for folks who are a grad student but have a learning disability, and who might be currently struggling or dealing with just like wanting to give up because they are, struggling in grad school, or just having low self-esteem because they have a disability, or whatever it is. I want to kind of share how I've been able to navigate grad school with a learning disability, and some tips and advice for you all to take away, so then you all can possibly apply it to your life and your situation. So I hope this video is helpful and beneficial for you all. So let's get straight into it. All right, y'all. First, I'm going to talk about my experience as a grad student with a learning disability and how I've been able to navigate it. So I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about me and how I've been able to navigate it, and then I'll go into some tips and different things like that. So as I mentioned, I'm in my 3rd semester of grad school. I'm in my 2nd year technically I'm in my second year of grad school. It's currently summertime and I ain't taking no summer class, but I'm in my second year of grad school, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm graduating in December. And one thing, when I was applying to grad school, I knew that, okay, I can get into grad school because I'm very passionate about this field. I love helping students. I'm passionate about pursuing a career in higher education. So when I first found out I got into my grad program, I was super excited, just like, oh my goodness, I was just so overwhelmed with joy, right? And I was just so excited that I finally got into a master's program. But it started to dawn on me a few weeks later after receiving my acceptance letter that, oh, okay, girl, you really about to start grad school. And if you all watch my story time video, I'm just gonna do a little recap right now. But basically, I struggled a lot in my undergrad, mostly when I transferred from community college to UC San Diego, and I'm going from a semester to a quarter. And my first year at UC San Diego was extremely tough. Like, I struggled so much, and scared that, I thought about how much I struggled in my undergrad. And I was like, my last 2 years at, UC San Diego, of course I graduated with my bachelor's, but let's just say it was a struggle. And I was so nervous that, oh my goodness, is it going to be extremely difficult for me as it was when my first year at UC San Diego? And there was many reasons why I didn't do that well my first year at UC San Diego. But thank God I was able to overcome all the challenges. And like that second year, it was like the comeback kick, #comeback kick. And I was able to get my grades, my GPA up, my grades. I started to have a rhythm. But I was really nervous that, okay, I really don't want to have a repeat of what I experienced at UC San Diego in my grad program. And so I was just really nervous, and I had like a lot of self-doubt. But after, praying and, talking to my dad, and just like, he was like always like reassuring me, and just talking to other people, and they just encouraged me, like, you're so good at what you do. You're always advising people. You're always like helping others and counseling, and it just comes naturally. And they're like, this is for you. This is like honestly the grad program for you, because it comes so naturally for you and you love it. And so all my family and friends are really encouraging me that I am gonna do well. You're gonna do well in that master's program. After taking in what everybody was telling me, I was like, okay, Desiree, you got this. You can do this. You can do this. You got into this program. A master's program gave you a chance, so now you just gotta go for it. So after my first day of grad school, I started to feel confident. I'm like, okay, this is like the first class. She kind of went through the syllabus, and then I made it through my first week, and then I made it through my second week, and I was like, okay, I now have a better understanding of like how the classes are gonna work. And it kind of reminded me of community college, and that's when I thrive. I thrive when the class sizes are smaller and more intimate, and then I have more of a, the professor is more reachable because the class is small. As for when I was in UC San Diego, the class size was huge. It was 200 people. So I really thrive in a small class size setting. Honestly, that's what grad school has been. It has been like a small class setting. I maybe had a class more than 20 people, maybe 25 max. But other than that, it's been a small class size. Grad school really remind me of community college, and I thrived at community college. Like, I did so good in community college, and so I really love the overall class size. And so as someone who has a learning disability, I've been able to approach the professor if I'm having a hard time, or approach the professor after class saying, hey, I don't really understand this. Can you further explain this to me? And so part of my experience of navigating grad school with a learning disability is definitely communication. So tip number one is communication. If you are struggling in a class or you need more clarification on a paper or assignment, then definitely communicate with your professor. I think it's really difficult and sometimes intimidating as a grad student, because it's like, I'm a grad student. I don't need to be going to my professor and asking all these questions or asking for clarification. But no, like, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in a PhD program, like, you should always ask your professor questions, or if you need clarification on something, go to the professor and communicate those needs and questions if you have them. Since I've been in my grad program thus far, I have always asked my professors questions. If I was unclear about something or did not understand something, I was like either emailing them or asking them after class. And that for me has been a game changer. Just the simple clarification. If I didn't ask a question, then I wouldn't have been able to do well on that assignment. Communication is key when you're in a grad school, and especially if you have a disability, because sometimes, whatever your disability is, you might didn't catch that, or, maybe you have ADHD or whatever it is, or whatever you're going through. It's good just to communicate whatever you're not understanding, or if you have any questions. And you don't just have to communicate to your professors or ask them questions. You can also ask your peers questions. So the folks in your master's program, hey, did you understand this? Hey, did you get this? So communication is key. So that is the first tip I will give y'all, is communicate your needs and your wants, and clarify what you might not understand, because clarification is key, y'all. Clarification and communication, okay? Another tip that I have for you all is to utilize your resources on campus. And for me, that has been so important. Like, that has been very crucial to my success in grad school thus far. My first semester of grad school, I was working on my literature review paper, and I remember being extremely stressed out when my professor was like breaking it down on how to write a literature review. And I'm like, I ain't never wrote a literature review. And I have wrote a literature review, but on a smaller scale. And so I was like, okay, I need to utilize the writing center. And she talked about utilizing the writing center. So I utilized the writing center for some of my papers in my master's program. Other than the writing center, I also looked into utilizing the accessibility student services on campus. And the accessibility of student services basically provides accommodation to students with disabilities, physical, learning, and mental, or whatever. So they provide different resources and services for students with disabilities, and I looked into utilizing them if I needed them. And I found out from my first semester that I really didn't need to utilize the accessibility student services, because I realized that my master's program doesn't have a lot of exams or testing. Mostly group projects, papers, presentations, and of course different other assignments. So I really didn't need to utilize them, because I didn't see myself taking a lot of exams. And when I did take exams, it will be open book or online or something like that, which was great for me. I recommend you all definitely checking out your campus accessibility or disability student services on campus, so it can help you navigate grad school. And I think you will find it really helpful and beneficial while you're in grad school, and just kind of take that load of stress and anxiety off of you. So another tip that I have for you all is creating a set set schedule for yourself. I think it's so important to create a weekly schedule for yourself, so then therefore you know what you need to accomplish, what you need to do, what the week has in store for you. And so I'm big on to-dos, like weekly to-dos, daily to-dos, writing out what I need to get done for the day or for the week. And for me, I get overwhelmed easily. Like, I feel like that's just like part of having, or that's normal, but when you have a learning disability, you just stress about every assignment, every little thing. You're just tense. And so I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself because I have a disability, and so I want to perform just as well as everybody else who don't have a disability. And so that's something I kind of always had, that mindset. I know it's unhealthy, but I'm getting better at it. But I just feel like for me to perform well in my classes and in my to do well in my assignments, I have to have a weekly to-do list, a daily to-do list, so then I'm keeping track of my assignments. I'm ahead of the game. And so I highly recommend that you guys create a monthly schedule, a weekly schedule, or to-do list, and or a daily to-do list, so that you all are keeping track of what you have to get done, and so that you're not doing things last minute, and that you're just on top of your game. Grad school is not like undergrad, y'all, and if you are in grad school, then you already know, like, you have to keep a certain GPA to even stay in the program. And for me, when I found that out, which was after the fact, I found, I think I always knew, but like, I really, like, in the orientation, it was like, look, y'all gonna have to keep it 3.0 and above. And I was like, oh, okay. I really can't go there. I really cannot do bad. And I just ingrained that in my head. You gotta keep a 3.0. You gotta do a 3.0 and above. A 3.0 and above to stay in the program. And I think that was like my motivation. I'm like, okay, I can't fail. I have to do well. And so, just having that in the back of my head, I was like, okay, I have to stay organized. I have to do a weekly to-do list, a monthly to-do list. Like, so not only creating yourself an agenda, but ultimately staying organized. And that's my other tip, is like, whatever organization look like to you, you might use Notion, you might use Google Calendar. Maybe you're someone who likes to write in your planner, your physical planner, of what you need to do, and or have a daily to-do notebook. Like, maybe you're more so like write out your daily to-dos or weekly to-dos or whatever important assignments you got to get done, and you like to write them down, so then when you're done, you like to cross them out. And so whatever organization looks like to you, do those things, so you can stay organized and do well in the program. For me, y'all, staying organized is very crucial. And it has been very crucial in my success in grad school. I noticed that when I have been extremely, like, just ready for the week, super organized, then I do my best. If I'm not organized or I don't take the time to get organized, then my week is in shambles. So I think it's just really important to really, sit down with yourself and say, okay, what do I need to do to be successful in my grad program? And that goes from utilizing resources, communicating your needs and wants, and or just any clarifying things that you need help with, or asking questions. I think it's just all those things, y'all. And so all these tips that I'm giving y'all has really, helped me navigate grad school thus far. And I have been able to get pretty much A's all throughout my grad program because I have done these exact tips. And also, I feel like I just want to say this, every grad program is different. My grad program is more paper writing, more writing and group projects and presentations. You might be pursuing your master's in nursing. So that requires a lot of math, a lot of science. And for me, math and science are not my strong suit, but maybe math and science are your strong suits. And so that's why you're in that program. So, it's just now it's a matter of, okay, I got into this program. What do I need to do well? Like, what do I need to do to sustain myself in this program and just, keep a 3.0 and above? Another tip that I have for you all is not to be so hard on yourself. I think it is so easy to talk negative about ourselves, to talk down on ourselves. It's easier to talk negative about ourselves than to talk positive about ourselves. Like, hey, we got this, we can do this. But instead that we do a lot of, girl, you can't do this. I can't do this. I ain't gonna do well. I'm definitely gonna fail that exam tomorrow. Even though you've been studying for like weeks. And that negative self-talk is so it's just bad. It's horrible, and if it's anything that I recommend you all doing, is try to talk positive about yourself. Try to speak life into your situation. Try to say, I can, I will, and I must. Try listening to a motivational speaker or motivational video online, maybe before you start school or while you're on your commute to school. Having a learning disability is difficult. It's not easy. And if it's one person who understands, I understand. Like, for so long, I have always battled with negative self-talk and not feeling like I'm good enough when it comes to my education or my academics. And I have always viewed my self-worth in like how I performed in school, when truly, I shouldn't have to do that. But that just kind of comes with the territory of having a learning disability. You just do it because you have a disability and you struggle, and you see everybody else do well and not struggle. And so I had to really work on my negative self-talk for years now. And I have to say that it does creep up sometimes, it does creep up every once in a while. But I can finally say that I have a handle on my negative self-talk. Something that I have been incorporating in my commute to school is listening to a motivational speaker or motivational video to really take away like negative self-doubt. Along with praying and doing my devotional, it has really helped me just combat all the negative self-talk that I might be having. When you start talking down on yourself, then you truly believe that like you're not good enough or that you're not capable, but you are capable. Don't believe that negative self-talk. And if you keep telling yourself you can't do this or you won't be able to do this, then you're not going to be able to do it. But when you say, I do got this, I know I can do it, I believe that I can do it, that's when you start to like, you feel like, okay, I got this, I can do this. And I think it's easier said than done, of course, but that's something that I have been doing throughout my grad school journey, is speaking life into my situation, speaking positive and not negative about myself and or my situation. And it has helped me greatly. I just want to say, if I can do it, you can do it. I never thought I would be this far in my grad program. I never thought I would be doing so well in grad school and honestly loving, my professors and what I'm learning in my classes, and just overall like loving, like interacting with my peers and my classes. And it has been a, overall great experience. And I know that my experience might not be your experience, but I definitely, something I really did was be really intentional throughout my grad school journey. And one thing I was like, okay, if I want to do well in grad school and navigating just everything, I want to make sure I'm intentional, with my time, with in my networking, just honestly just intentional with everything that I'm doing. Brought me to this point. Comment down below if y'all have some tips or advice that I maybe missed in this video, or maybe you are a grad student and you have a disability and you have a tip or advice that you have been incorporating that you feel like it will be beneficial for all of us to know. feel free to comment down below. Comment down below anything you all might have, any questions or anything like that. I respond to pretty much all my comments, and I just love interacting and engaging with you all. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will check in with you all in the next video. Bye.